everyone, it's KE7VLC Orion for the Mesa Amateur Radio Club, Whiskey Mike 7 Romeo Charlie. Wishing everyone, hope you guys are all having a good, safe lockdown. Hope everybody had a good Easter weekend. Hope that everybody's feeling well and doing well. Wanted to do this video just to essentially say hi. See how everyone is doing. Let you guys know that we're still around. Yes, I'm still here. Been doing pretty good. Been doing housework. Going out and doing a little bit of exercising. Taking Cody for a little bit of hikes and everything around the city of Apache Junction here. Been going for a lot of walks, doing a lot of housework. I've got a small little garden going on in the backyard right now, so been kind of paying attention to a lot of that type of stuff. Haven't been doing too much ham radio stuff. I got my HF radio up and running right now. Well, not right this second, but I have a ham stick dipole that I set up in the backyard. Every now and then I get on the air. I've done a couple contacts, probably I think about like 6 contacts total. It's doing fairly decent. It's not my dream antenna. It's not my dream setup or anything like that. But it gets me on the air, and it's better than nothing. And at the same time, yeah, I could probably change where it's at and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I know Vinny has been working on a search engine or a search. I think it's a search engine. I don't know exactly what it is. He's been doing something with what's called Skippy Search for the Arden or the mesh networking. He's been busy doing that. So here, Chad says hello. Chad's been doing fairly decent and everything. Wants to say thank you for everybody's wishes and everything, everybody's prayers and everything. He's doing fairly good. So. Frank has been busy. He's been doing a lot of yard work and housework. I know that right now I think he's getting ready to install, I think it's triple pane windows in his house. And if anybody has ever done any window work, you know how tedious and labor intensive that is. You have to, basically cut into the whole entire side of the house and, basically pull the old window out and, re-level it and double check and make sure that the dimensions are correct and everything. So he's been working on that. And I haven't heard too much from Dennis. I know that Dennis has been doing pretty good. He's retired, so a lot of his stuff has been doing a lot of volunteer work and stuff. So I know that he's out there doing some stuff. Anyways, we all wanted to say hi and let everybody know that, yes, we are still here. Yes, the club is still going and everything. So the reason why I wanted to do this video, we haven't done a video in quite a while, and I wanted to get back into it. Wanted to make sure that everything is still, all my equipment is still working. I wanted to make sure that all of you are still working, all of you are still doing stuff, and still paying attention to our videos and everything. And I hope all of you are doing pretty good. Please leave a comment down below if you're doing any ham radio projects and you want to gloat about it, brag about it, if you're proud about doing something, even if it's something as simple as, hey, listen, I installed an antenna on my vehicle or something of that nature. Shout it out. Let us know. We're definitely interested. All right. So no project is too small. All right. And even if it's not a ham radio project, if it's something that you're, oh yeah, I did an addition to my house, or I replaced the roof or something like that, go for it. Let us know. Anyways, so what brought up this video was we had a couple questions and a lot of things going on in a lot of ham radio forums in the last couple months, especially the last couple weeks. And I wanted to touch bases on this because there's been a couple questions to us about a couple different things. The first one I wanted to touch base on is the online testing, okay? As of right now, there's only a couple groups that are doing online testing. One of them is the Anchorage VEC, okay? Anchorage, Alaska. The greatest state in the whole entire universe, all right? Yeah, I'm biased. I love Alaska, born, well, I wasn't born there, but I was raised there. I love Alaska. Um, and I'm glad that the Anchorage VEC does this. If you've ever been to Alaska or have seen Alaska, um, or if you've heard me talk about Alaska, Alaska is very rural. All right. It's like one person per every 50 square miles or something like that. It's pretty big. It's fairly large, and there's not a lot of demand for ham radio operators up there. Anyways, they don't do a lot with the emergency communications, mostly because um, the the population up there tends to be self oh they work with their own selves. They do a lot on their own. I don't want to say self-centered because they're not really self-centered. They'll bend over backwards to help help the neighbors and everything of that nature. But they've got the ability to basically do their own thing without, well, let me put it this way. They've been doing social distancing since way before it became popular right now. All right. They love Alaska because of it. Their nearest neighbor might be 5 miles away and they're happy with it. All right. So a lot of them doing online testing or something of that nature might be the only way they can actually take the exams. I mean, unless they want to pay $400 for a flight into Anchorage and a hotel and everything of that nature to try to take a $15 test. A lot of them, the only way that they can actually get on the air and do any ham radio stuff is by taking these remote tests. So Anchorage VEC has been doing online exams for years now. My speculation as to why it hasn't caught on down here in the lower 48, I think has to do with the fact that a lot of the VECs feel a very big pride in what they do. And so if you reduce that down to an online thing, I think a lot of them kind of get a little like, oh, you're taking away my enjoyment, my thing in ham radio. But I also think it's a lot of people don't trust doing things online. Oh, it's too easy to cheat and things of this nature. And I know that the hamstudy.org has been working with a couple VEC groups, including the ARRL, on how to bring online exams to the whole entire population. All right. Now, don't get your hopes up. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think it's going to happen next week. But by the time that May rolls around, there's a possibility that they might actually be doing online exams by that time. And so it's all going to depend on exactly how they do it and how the technology rolls out. I mean, obviously it's 2020. All right. The technology's there. We've got webcams. I'm talking to a webcam right now. We've got really good high-speed internet all over the country pretty much. I mean, there are some places that don't have internet, and so they're going to have to work around that. But at the same time, a lot of these places, this might be the only way of communicating with each other. So they're working on it. They're trying to get it down. All right. Now, what I would recommend for all of you who are sitting there getting really antsy and wanting to take your exam and everything is to relax. Just chill out really quick, okay? Take a deep breath in and let it out, okay? It'll come. But there's a good chance that the lockdown will be lifted and things will start going back to normal by the time that everything starts to roll out, okay? There is a chance. And so my recommendation is just wait and see what happens, okay? In the meantime, if you're studying for your technician and you think you're ready for your technician, don't stop there. Grab a general book, order a general book, start studying for the general, okay? There's no reason why you can't take the technician and the general in one setting. As a matter of fact, my recommendation is if the VEC ever asks you the question, would you like to take the next level test after you've completed the current test that you're on, the answer should always be yes, I will. You never know. You might actually end up being one of those lucky ones, or one of the ones that you could just take a look at the test and go, oh yeah, I already know this. Oh yeah, I already know this. Yep, I know this. And the majority of the general questions are pretty much similar, if not identical, to what's on the technician class anyways. The extra test is a little bit more on the heavier duty side. So I don't expect somebody to go in for their technician and come out with their extra, but I would expect about probably 25 to 30% of the people who go in for their technician class to come out with at least their general. Okay, so my recommendation is don't shy away from it. Start studying for it now. You never know. So, and if you're going for your general, start studying for your extra. Just pick up the book, order it, get it out there, start looking at it, because you might never know. You might end up going in there and getting your extra as well. So just do it. Okay, that's trust me, from the bottom of my heart, as well as the logical sense of it. It just makes sense, all right? So, let's see here. What was I going to say next? Skywarn classes, okay? Now, I'm going to make this as a big caveat, okay? We post a lot about Skywarn. The Mesa Amateur Radio Club does not proctor anything for Skywarn, okay? We do not control the entity. That's not even our program. It's run by a large government entity called the National Weather Service. Some of you have probably heard of them. They are the ones who handle the Skywarn classes, all right? And my brother took a Skywarn class not too long ago over in Dallas. It was all online, and he said it was actually a pretty good class. That prompted me, along with somebody asking the question as to what's going on with the Skywarn classes. I sent an email over to the one guy I know over at the National Weather Service here in the Phoenix area, and he actually responded back. They are looking into it, okay? There's a good chance that in the next couple weeks that might actually happen. So as soon as that happens, as soon as Austin lets me know that they are going to be doing this, I will let you guys know. I promise you that, all right? I will be posting that up on both the website as well as our Facebook page, and I hope it does well. Matter of fact, I'll probably go right ahead and register and see how well it does, all right? Anyways, they're looking into it. They don't want to do Zoom because of the security and privacy issues that's going on, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them for one bit, because we've already had one of my customers that I work for basically start looking for alternatives to Zoom. I know that once this whole entire lockdown goes away, we might be getting rid of Zoom. I'm not 100% sure right now. I pay for a subscription to Zoom so that we can have upwards of 100 people. Virgil utilizes my license to do the weekend ham feasts, a virtual ham feast, as well as a virtual ham. Well, basically, it's you get around and do a lot of tinkering, okay? And I'll be posting that stuff up as soon as I see a couple of those. I'll go right ahead and post those up there for you guys. It's not sponsored by us, but we are handling the licensing for that. So it's basically my contribution to basically to ham radio. I know Virgil pretty well, and I really like Virgil. And what he's doing is really, really super cool. So, matter of fact, we might actually be doing some of this stuff a little bit later. I got to get my staff to sit down and actually commit some time to things. And that's been kind of the issue is, planning and timing. Some of us work. Well, most of us actually work. Some of us have house projects that we've got going on and things of that nature. So sometimes ham radio takes a step back from our lives, and I can't fault anybody for that. So Anyways, so Skywarn classes, as soon as I find out more information, I will let you guys all know. Don't worry, don't panic, don't freak out just yet, all right? Yes, our April campout trip has been canceled for obvious reasons. If you're just crawling out from underneath a rock, there's a pandemic going on. And we're all pretty much in not really isolation. We're not really in quarantine. We're just in basically it's a recommended stay-at-home status right now. And so rather than having us go out there and then all of a sudden every single one of our members ends up getting sick because one person had it or something of that nature, we decided to err on the side of caution and cancel our April camping trip. And I think most of you kind of have a good understanding of that and don't fault us for that. We just want to make sure that everybody's safe. That's the number one criteria of any one of our events is make sure that everybody is safe and sound. We don't want, anybody to get injured or sick or anything of that nature. So we take this to heart, all right? So it was a difficult decision. We talked about it for probably about an hour, trying to figure out what we would like to do. We do have field day coming up, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. And then we've got our October trip coming up. So we've got a lot of things going on. It's just that we have to work around our current situation. All right. So what about field day? All right. Now this is another one that I've oh man. Some of you know that I get a little a little agitated when you see things being posted quite often. One of the things that are being posted right now is there's a lot of people out there so concerned about field day. Now, field day is almost like 2.5 months away. It's, fourth weekend of June. So we still have pretty much all of May, all of June to go. We still have a couple more weeks of April to go. So we've got a ways to go. Things can change in any time in between this, okay? So as of right now, the club's decision is field day is still a go. All right, we're still green light to go for field day. The campground has been booked. We got the reservation. The federal government hasn't sent the check back to us. They haven't refunded us any money. They haven't sent us a letter saying, hey, listen, your camping trip is going to have to be canceled or postponed or whatever. So all of that is still green light right now. We're still a go. All right. And it doesn't really change too much other than where we're going to go camping if we even do this. All right. So let's assume that the lockdown gets lifted, field day goes on. All right. As of right now, the campground is, like I said before, campground's reserved. It's being planned. I know that, Frank is doing all the planning. He's going to be sending out some emails here shortly, within the next couple weeks or something like that, talking about field day, exactly what to expect and things. I think he wants to get up there with the drone and do a little bit of drone shooting footage up there. But we're waiting for basically the forest roads to open. The forest roads just opened recently, but not all the roads are open. So one of these days we'll be up there and we'll get some good footage. We're kind of excited to get back up there and go camping some more. So let's say that field day is still in lockdown. Okay. Now, here's one of my little pet peeves of a lot of people. A lot of people have been posting on the Facebook page for the ARRLs, and they're demanding that they change the rules for clubs and all this other stuff. And it's kind of got me a little bit on the irritated side. And I don't mean that, I'm angry at anybody or anything of that nature, but it's one of these things where I think ham radio operators fail to see the big picture. They only see their picture in their little myopic, I guess is the word. Their own little world is really what I'm trying to say. You know, well, this is so unfair to our club. You know, you guys need to change the rules so that our club can still participate and all this other stuff. Let's change the distancing rules so that we can have club members all over the valley or all over our town basically get together online and basically do this. And quite honestly, it doesn't need. It doesn't need to be changed. The rules don't need to be changed. As a matter of fact, the ARRL has come out and specifically stated, we're not changing the rules. Okay? And here's the reason why. Field day is about emergency communications. Okay? Emergencies, you can't plan for. You can't sit there and say, well, okay, if we have a hurricane come through here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to this building and we're going to set up our antennas. We're going to do this. We're going to have radios. We're going to have electricity. We're going to have internet, all this other stuff. You can't plan for that. You may get over there to that building's gone. Okay? You may try to put up an antenna, and 10 minutes after you put up the antenna gets knocked over by a huge gust of wind or something like that and damages your antenna. Now what? Okay? A good emergency communications team and a good emergency communications operator is going to learn how to adapt to the situation. Let's pretend that all the roads are flooded and that we can't get out of our homes. That's the way you need to look at this. Okay, so lockdown is in place. You're not really supposed to go anyplace. Let's just pretend that all the roads are flooded or all damaged or something of that nature, and now you're basically the only link to the outside world for all of your neighbors. That's the way you need to look at it. The rules have several different criteria. Okay, there's the club criteria. There's mobile criteria. There's EOC in there. There's also two other elements to field day, and both of them you can do from home. Okay, there's the 1 delta. All right, or even 2 delta, or 3 delta if you really want. 3 just means the amount of transmitters you have on the air. All right, delta is just the description as to where you're located at. Delta is usually a home station. Okay, so if you have a 1 delta or a 2 delta, you know, you can still get on the air and make contacts. All right, that's the whole entire purpose of this. So don't freak out. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, I guess I just won't participate in field day because I can't go out there with a club and have barbecue and sit around the campfire and all this other stuff. No. Still participate. Get out there. Get your portable antenna up over that weekend. Get your radio connected up. Connect up the coax and just go to town. Have a little bit of fun. You don't have to break the world's record for, making a lot of contacts. You can get on there and make 5 or 10 contacts or 50 contacts or 200 contacts if you want. Then there's the echo stations. Echo stations is basically your home station running off of emergency power. Okay? You got a generator in the garage. Guess what? Fire it up. Run an extension cord up through your window and plug it into your radio. Now you're running off of a generator like you would at field day anyways. Now you're just at home sitting in a nice air-conditioned building with portable electricity being brought in by the generator. You can still operate. So get on the air. You can go out in your backyard and set up your Easy Up and sit underneath there and participate. There's nothing that says that you can't go up to the Mogollon Rim and go camping with you and a buddy. If there's 1 or 2 of you that want to go up to the rim and set up your equipment and go, hey, look, we're on the air. Go for it. Have fun. Now you're going to be a Bravo station, okay? If you want to hop in your vehicle, you've got an ATOS antenna or a hamstick antenna on the back of your bumper or something like that, and you want to do it while driving down the road or pulled off to the side of the road or something like that, you can be a 1 Charlie, okay? The rules already are flexible enough that you can be flexible to the event, to the situation, all right? We don't need to be as a club to participate. There's nothing in the rules that says that thou shall be with a club to operate during field day, all right? So that's my little pet peeve with this whole entire thing right now is everybody's all up in arms and trying to get at the ARRL to change the rules and everything of that nature. And, we're not even close to even being for field day right now. And, Yeah, I know there's a lot of clubs that are doing a lot of planning. Okay, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. Well, keep on planning it. Because what if the situation changes and you can still have it? If you give up now, you're just basically giving in. But at the same time, you got to be flexible and adaptable enough to understand the whole entire concept behind field day and go, well, yep, this year we can't be operating as a club. We'll have to operate as individuals. Go for it. Have fun. So our club we've got two different situations here. We're still going with basically plan A, which is field day. Excuse me. Field day. Camping. All right. We want to have fun. We want to do it as a club. But we want to be safe. We want to be sensible enough. And so if field day changes, we'll let you guys know. All right. Anyways, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I think it's over here. I think is where the subscribe button is. Don't forget to hit the little bell button as well so you're notified when we post up a new video. If you have any questions, comments, you have anything that you would like for us to discuss, post a comment on the video or send an email off. My email is Kilo Echo 7 Victor Lima Charlie at Whiskey Mike 7 Romeo Charlie Oscar Romeo Golf. That again is KE7VLC at WM7RC.org. Or you can always contact us via the admin. I think it's admin or administrator at WM7RC.org. Feel free to comment on Facebook if you got a question or if you got some other good idea. Please post it up. Please post it. Let us know. And so from the Mesa Amateur Radio Club, this is KE7VLC for the Mesa Amateur Radio Club, WM7RC, wishing you a happy day. Hope you guys all be safe out there. 73, and good night.